If you are over 60 and notice your blood sugar acting up after eating what you think are healthy fruits, you are not alone. Many seniors tell me they feel confused because they switched from candy and cookies to fruit, but their glucose levels still spike unexpectedly. The truth is, some fruits contain way more natural sugar than most people realize. I have been researching nutrition for seniors with blood sugar concerns, and what I found surprised me. There are high sugar fruits seniors should know about that can affect your glucose just as much as processed sweets. We are not talking about avoiding fruit completely. That would be terrible advice. Fruit has vitamins, fiber, and nutrients your body needs. Today I want to share 7 fruits that contain surprisingly high amounts of natural sugar. We will go from the lowest concern to the highest concern, so you can make better choices for your health. Let us start with number 7, a fruit many people eat daily. Number 7 on our list is sweet cherries. Now, cherries have the lowest sugar content of the fruits we will talk about today, but they still pack more sugar than you might expect. Sweet cherries contain about 13 grams of sugar per 100 grams of fruit. That might not sound like much, but here is where the problem starts. Most people do not eat just a few cherries. When you sit down with a bowl of fresh cherries, you probably eat 15 to 20 of them without even thinking about it. That portion weighs about 84 grams, which means you just ate 11 grams of sugar. That is almost 3 teaspoons of sugar from what feels like a small snack. There is a big difference between sweet cherries and tart cherries that most seniors do not know about. Sweet cherries, like the popular Bing variety, contain almost double the sugar of tart cherries. Tart cherries have only about 7 grams of sugar per 100 grams, but sweet cherries can reach 13 grams or more when they are really ripe. The real issue with cherries is their small size makes them easy to overeat. Your brain does not register that you have eaten much because each cherry is tiny. Before you know it, you have consumed way more sugar than you planned. If you love cherries, stick to 10 or 12 cherries maximum per serving. A better approach is to mix a few cherries with some nuts or eat them after a meal that contains protein. This helps slow down how fast the sugar gets into your bloodstream. Cherries do contain good antioxidants and can definitely fit into healthy eating when you control the portions. The key is being aware of how many you eat at one time. Moving to number 6, a fruit that tricks people because of its size. Number 6 is fresh grapes. And this fruit tricks a lot of people because of its size. You might think grapes are safe because they are small and fresh, but they actually contain 15.5 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That is deceptively high for a fresh fruit. Here is the real problem. When most people eat grapes, they eat about 1 cup, which weighs roughly 151 grams. That 1 cup contains 23 grams of sugar. To put this in perspective, that is like eating 6 teaspoons of sugar from what feels like a light, healthy snack. There is also a difference between grape varieties that most people do not know about. Red grapes contain slightly more sugar than green grapes. The difference is not huge, but if you are watching your blood sugar closely, it can matter. For seniors, grapes can cause blood sugar to spike within 30 minutes of eating them. This happens because grape sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream pretty quickly. Your body does not have much time to process it gradually. If you want to think about portions in a practical way, about 15 grapes equals 1 diabetic exchange. That means if you eat 30 grapes, you have just had 2 exchanges worth of sugar impact. Here is a tip that works well for many people. Cut your grapes in half and freeze them. Frozen grape halves take longer to eat, which naturally slows down how much you consume. Plus, they feel like a treat when you want something cold and sweet. The better timing for eating grapes is with meals, not as standalone snacks. When you eat grapes along with protein or fiber from your main meal, it helps slow down how fast the sugar hits your system. Number 5 might surprise you because people think dried fruit is just concentrated. Number 5 is dried figs. And this is where we start seeing the dramatic concentration effect that happens when fruit gets dried. Dried figs contain between 48 to 62 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That is a huge jump from fresh figs, which only have about 16 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Here is the problem most people do not understand. When you dry fruit, you remove the water, but all the sugar stays behind. So what used to be spread out in a juicy, water-filled fresh fig now gets packed into a small, chewy dried fig. 4 dried figs contain 15 to 20 grams of sugar. That is the same amount of sugar you would get from a can of soda. The type of dried fig matters too. Turkish figs and Kalimirna figs often reach the higher end of that sugar range. These varieties naturally contain more sugar even when fresh, so drying them creates an even more concentrated sugar bomb. Most people eat way more than 4 dried figs at one sitting. I have seen people eat 6 to 8 dried figs as an afternoon snack, which doubles the sugar load we just talked about. That can really spike your blood sugar fast. If you love the taste of figs, choose fresh figs when you can find them. Fresh figs are available during late summer and early fall in most places. When you do eat dried figs, limit yourself to just 2 or 3 pieces maximum. A good tip is to eat dried figs with Greek yogurt. The protein in the yogurt helps slow down how fast the sugar gets absorbed into your bloodstream. This keeps your glucose levels more steady instead of spiking up quickly. Coming up at number 4, a dried fruit that concentrates sugar even more. Number 4 is dried apricots, and these little orange pieces pack a serious sugar punch. Dried apricots contain 53 grams of sugar per 100 grams, which makes them 6 times more concentrated than their fresh counterparts. Fresh apricots only have 9.2 grams of sugar per 100 grams, so you can see what drying does to the sugar levels. A typical serving of dried apricots is 8 halves, which weighs about 30 grams. Those 8 little pieces deliver 16 grams of sugar straight into your system. What looks like a small handful actually contains more sugar than many people realize. The dehydration process removes about 85% of the water from fresh apricots, but none of the sugar disappears. Everything gets concentrated into those wrinkled, chewy pieces. Your body processes this concentrated sugar much faster than it would handle the same amount spread out in fresh, juicy apricots. Many seniors reach for dried apricots as an afternoon snack because they seem healthy and convenient. But eating them on an empty stomach can cause your glucose to jump quickly. Your pancreas has to work harder to manage that sudden sugar load. Timing makes a difference with dried apricots. If you eat them in the morning, your body has the whole day to process the glucose through normal activity. Evening consumption can be more problematic because your metabolism slows down as bedtime approaches. A better strategy is pairing dried apricots with almonds or walnuts. The healthy fats and protein in nuts help balance out the sugar impact. Instead of your blood glucose shooting up fast, it rises more gradually and stays steadier. If you enjoy dried apricots, limit yourself to just 3 or 4 halves at a time. Save them for when you need a quick energy boost before physical activity. Number 3 is a childhood favorite that adults still eat by the handful. Number 3 is raisins, that childhood favorite that many adults still eat by the handful. Raisins contain between 59 to 65 grams of sugar per 100 grams, making them about 4 times more concentrated than the fresh grapes they came from. A quarter cup of raisins weighs about 40 grams and contains 24 grams of sugar. But many people eat closer to half a cup when they snack on raisins, which doubles that sugar load to nearly 50 grams. That amount of sugar can really impact your blood glucose levels. Unlike some dried fruits, raisins do not need any added sugar during processing. All that sweetness comes from natural grape sugar that gets concentrated when the water evaporates. The tiny size of raisins makes this concentration even more dangerous because overconsumption happens so easily. Raisins can cause rapid glucose spikes within 15 to 20 minutes of eating them. Because they are already partially broken down from the drying process, your digestive system absorbs their sugar very quickly. This fast absorption catches many seniors off guard. Portion control becomes critical with raisins. Instead of eating them straight from the box, measure out just 2 tablespoons maximum per serving. That small amount still gives you the sweet taste without overwhelming your system. Smart consumption means adding raisins to other foods instead of eating them alone. Sprinkle a few into your oatmeal or toss some into a salad. This way, the fiber and protein from other foods help slow down sugar absorption. When you want something sweet, consider choosing fresh grapes instead of raisins. You get more volume, more water to help you feel satisfied, and much less concentrated sugar per bite. Fresh grapes also take more time to eat, which helps prevent overconsumption. Number 2 has a shocking secret that most people do not know. Number 2 is dried cranberries, and it contains between 58 to 82 grams of sugar per 100 grams. The wide range happens because many commercial brands add extra sugar during processing, pushing the total even higher. Fresh cranberries contain only 2.4 grams of sugar per 100 grams. When you dry them, you get a 27 to 34-fold increase in sugar concentration. That makes dried cranberries one of the most dramatically concentrated fruits you can buy. A quarter cup of dried cranberries weighs about 30 grams and delivers 17 to 25 grams of sugar depending on the brand. The marketing around dried cranberries often presents them as health foods, which masks this sugar reality. Many seniors buy them thinking they are making a healthy choice. Most commercial dried cranberries need added sugar because fresh cranberries are naturally very tart. Food companies add sugar or fruit juice concentrate to make them palatable. This extra sweetening pushes the sugar content even higher than what natural concentration would create. Reading labels becomes essential with dried cranberries. Look for packages that say "no sugar added," but remember that even these versions still contain concentrated natural sugar. You still need to limit portions even with the unsweetened varieties. Fresh or frozen cranberries work much better in cooking. You can add them to muffins, sauces, or other recipes where their natural tartness gets balanced by other ingredients. This way you get cranberry benefits without the sugar overload. When you want to use dried cranberries, sprinkle just a few pieces on top of a salad instead of eating them by the handful. Think of them as a garnish rather than a snack food. This approach gives you the flavor without flooding your system with concentrated sugar. And now number 1, the fruit with more natural sugar than some candy bars. Number 1 is dates. The fruit with more natural sugar than some candy bars. Dates contain between 63 to 67 grams of sugar per 100 grams, making them the highest sugar fruit on our list. Even fresh dates maintain this extreme sugar density, so drying does not create this problem like it does with other fruits. 3 medjool dates weigh about 24 grams and contain 16 grams of sugar. That amount equals drinking half a regular soda in terms of sugar content. Dates contain glucose, fructose, and sucrose, all mixed together naturally, which gives them their incredible sweetness. Many people use dates in healthy recipes because food blogs promote them as natural sweeteners, but most recipes call for 4 to 6 dates, which doubles or triples the sugar load we just mentioned. Energy balls, date smoothies, and raw desserts often pack way more sugar than people expect. Dates create an interesting contradiction. Despite containing massive amounts of sugar, their glycemic index ranges from 48 to 55. This is actually lower than watermelon, which has a glycemic index between 72 to 80. The fiber content in dates helps slow down sugar absorption slightly compared to pure sugar. Fresh medjool dates work better than the smaller Deglet Nor variety because their larger size makes portion control easier. You can clearly see when you are eating one whole date versus accidentally eating several smaller ones. For seniors taking blood sugar medications, dates can affect medication timing. That concentrated sugar load might require adjusting when you take your medicine or checking glucose levels more frequently on days when you eat dates. The wisest approach is using dates as ingredients in recipes rather than eating them as snacks. Chop half a date into yogurt for sweetness, or use one date to sweeten homemade sauces. This gives you flavor benefits without overwhelming your glucose control. Now that you know which fruits pack the most sugar, here are better alternatives and practical tips. Lower sugar fresh options include berries, cantaloupe, and peaches, which contain only 6 to 9 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Use measuring cups for portion control instead of trusting your eyes. Eat higher sugar fruits with meals rather than alone as snacks. Pair fruits with protein or healthy fats to slow sugar absorption. Greek yogurt with berries or apple slices with almond butter work well. Always read labels on dried fruit products because many contain added sugars. Remember that blood sugar response differs among seniors. Check your glucose levels to understand your personal reaction to different fruits. Work with your healthcare provider to determine what portions work best for your individual health needs. These 7 fruits contain significant natural sugar that can affect your blood glucose levels. This is not about eliminating fruit completely. That would be bad advice. Fruit provides vitamins, fiber, and nutrients your body needs. The goal is understanding sugar content so you can make informed choices. Remember, this is educational content only, not medical advice. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, especially if you take medications for blood sugar control. If this information helped you understand fruit and blood sugar better, please hit the like button and subscribe for more health content. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss new videos. Share this with family members who might benefit, and comment below with your favorite low-sugar fruit alternatives.